customer is king, or so they say, and happy customers certainly make for a thriving business. Today we are focusing on something a little broader though, customer management. And to fill us in on what it is and how it works is Doug Leather from Reap Consulting. Welcome, Doug.
Welcome, Astrid. Thank you.
Thank you. Doug, tell me something. Why is customer management so important?
If you think about most businesses today, Astrid, probably the most profit, or the profit, actually is coming from your customer base. Other than some major league organizations where we've got to take capital utilization and investment return into account, the customer is really where the profit comes from.
Mm-hmm. And how would you go about managing this customer base so that the profitability keeps increasing?
Well, if you customers are an asset within an organization. Mm-hmm. So as a business, principally we should be looking to manage that customer base as an asset. Maximize the opportunities that we have through a deep understanding of client and appropriate program design that's going to be appealing to that client to get them to stay with us, to get them to spend more with us, and hopefully for us to attract similar high-value clients from the marketplace through a compelling proposition that we as a business will look to develop.
Mm-hmm. So it's all good and well spending all this resources on attracting the customers, but how important is it to maintain it, and what tools are there available to maintain that customer management?
Well, if you think about, and you hit a really good point, so many organizations literally adopt a customer acquisition at any cost initiative. So there's no understanding of the value of the customer base that they're bringing on board. What challenges face a lot of organizations today is that of customer retention. And one can only really retain customers through the provision of basic service offerings in a consistent manner, because we're trying to engage with the customer in an emotional as well as a physical way. So that the necessity of understanding the customer, understanding what makes them tick, and responding accordingly and appropriately to those needs will build that level of retention. Depending also on the value bands of customers, certain organizations would need to design and implement different programs that are appealing to different segments of customer.
Mm-hmm. So when you're looking at the different segments, are you talking about outside external forces, or what segments are there specifically you need to be looking at?
No, we're talking about different customer types. Mm-hmm. There are different types of customers that we as a business will have. Some are good customers, some are bad customers. They will invariably have different needs, mm-hmm. And they will invariably have different values. So right down to the point of understanding groups of customers, whether it's a group of one or a group of many, but the necessity of understanding like-minded customers and dealing with those customers appropriately based on their needs. That's what I mean by segments. And organizations may have multiple segments. Mm-hmm. They may have 2 or 3 segments. That doesn't necessarily matter, but the clear distinction about a different group of customer and a different treatment to that customer group is critical in terms of practicing customer management.
Mm-hmm. Now, as a SME, what sort of budget are you looking at, and is it very expensive, this customer management and maintaining?
Well, intuitively we all know and understand that we should be dealing with our customers as individuals. As people, we want to be treated as we would like to be treated, and we should be treating our customers accordingly. Very difficult if you talk about what level of budget we have. What sits at the very core of customer management is, and I come back to the point that I made earlier, an understanding of that customer need. Now that will imply a level of research. Depending on the type of business you are, depending on the number of customers you have, how do you engage in a dialogue in such a way that we can determine what it is that the customer's need actually is relative to the other providers or other service offerers that person may engage with. Once we can understand that need, as a business then we'll end up tailoring our product and our offering and our communications accordingly. So when we talk about a budget, yes, there is a spend required to develop that level of understanding, but at the end of the system, at the end of the chain, if you will, is a better level of profitability, because we are able to match the resource that we have as an organization more appropriately to those groups of customers who are going to be providing to us a greater level of return.
So in core, what is customer management?
Customer management basically is the way an organization designs a customer experience in order to retain the customers they have, acquire the kind of customers they want to, create susceptible customers in terms of offerings and additional spend and product for the betterment of a business. And that includes the employees, the customers, and the various stakeholder groups.
Thank you very much, Doug.